G'day and welcome back. I have been asked to make a set of transfer screws in the installation tool in a 1/2 inch Whitworth, which is half 12. I've got half 13, but the fellow wants half 12. There's going to be 6 screws to make up for the set, like this, with the sharp point on the end of the dimple for transferring, which I'll have to try and harden a little bit. I don't know what he's doing with them. I don't know what he's building. I'm not sure whether it's... I've got no idea. Just got asked if I can make them. I've got the broaching tool to put the hex in the end so you can wind them down into the hole. So I haven't got a lot of time, sort of only a 1 day build this, so hopefully I can knock it out today and get it done with and finished. So anyway, be a quick build, just get it done. Okay, I've got a bit of material. I believe it might be a bit of 4140, but we'll find out. It's got a hole on the end, which I don't think it's going to affect too much. Just going to face it off and jam the centre in it. Does have a shoulder, I'll hold it up like that. And yeah. .98, that's close enough. It's going to have a knurl on it. I'm not going to worry about putting a hex on it. So now I'll put the features for the, wherever I put these features in the end. Then I can flip it around, machine it to length, and put the thread in the end, open the inside up, put the thread in it, then we can make the cap. Don't know how this knurling tool holds up to what it's been through. She's copped a flogging. That'll do. Clean that up, see what it looks like. That knurl actually turned out way better than what I thought. And that knurling tool surprises me every time. It's that flogged out, but it still creates a good knurl. Anyway, I'm going to machine this end down now to be something similar to that. And I can broach it, hold it in a collar then so I don't damage the knurl, and do the other end features and bring it to length. Might hold that in a collet now and put the broach in the end of it. Last time I used this broaching tool I actually chipped the tip, so I don't know how this is actually going to go. So she might be fairly hard on it, but it is what it is. Can't do much about that. It's a 6mm broach, so drill a 6mm hole, we should be right. Generous chamfer. So I honestly do not know how this is going to go. It might just turn to shit yet. I see we're slipping in the collet a touch. She's definitely blunt, that poor little bloody cutter. Seems a bit cruel trying to jam it in there, but anyway. There's a 6mm Allen key. It'll do. I really need to make another. See if Trevor can throw this in, make another one of these in his deeper grinder for me. The deck's formed alright, it's just that tool is as blunt as buggery, that corner chipped off it. So you got a job coming your way, Uncle Trev. Got it turned around in the collet. I've got to take it back to this red mark here, if you can see the red mark. I'm going to grab a 1/2" end mill and try and open this up. Decided to go with the drill again because I want the concave in the end for the tip of the screws to sit in. So I put a centre drill in and just fresh grind on this 1/2" drill. How good that is, I don't know. We'll find out direct. But we'll just take it easy. With the Hankster for super all tap. We'll have a crack at trying to thread this. This is 9/16/18. Big enough, I reckon. Yeah, that's plenty. It's only for the cap. So I can just chamfer this now gently. And we're good to go. I can make the cap then to fit that, and then only got left to do the screws in, make the screws themselves. So I went a bit heavy with that chamfer, but I've got a bit of room to play, so I can just nick a bit off. That'll do. So I've just tucked it back up again. I don't like the look of this, it's just a bit fat, so I'm just going to trim it up a bit. Just give it a bit of a diet and see how it looks then. That's better. A mate of mine in town here, he started up a YouTube channel, and it's all photography of farmland, oceans, the towns, all that sort of stuff around this area, around the Bega Valley. And he dropped in yesterday while Trevor and I, well, Trevor was here too, and we're having a cup of tea, and old Cliff dropped in. And he dropped off a couple of calendars for me. And I haven't caught up with Cliff for probably 5 years at least. Anyway, he found me on Instagram, and unbeknownst to me, he'd been following me on YouTube. And he said, I'll drop in one day, and then yesterday was the day, and he did. And he brought down a calendar for me. Unbelievable photos in this calendar, and it's all of this area. He really does a good job. And I never took Cliff to be a photographer. All the years I've known him, I never sort of took him as being a photographer. But talking yesterday, we were having a yap about it yesterday, and he said he'd always had an interest in it. But he just sort of took it up as I wouldn't say it's a full-time hobby. It takes a lot of his time now though. But I am blown away with the quality of photos just in this one calendar. And I jumped on his website, which I didn't even know he had, and had a look at the gallery there as well. And he's on Instagram and that, but I'll put all his details. If you're interested in any of what this area looks like, he'll show you on YouTube. Like on YouTube, he went up to Jindabyne, up where the big Jindabyne Dam is. He's done shots of farms around here with the drone. It's just bloody awesome. I'm just going to show you a couple of pictures in this. That's a Bermagiri Harbour. This is absolutely terrible light here. That's a Burmy Harbour. That town there is about an hour from me, up the coast. Stunning little place. Beautiful little place actually. That's a rock pool. That rock pool there is about 4 k's from my house here. That's down at Aslings Beach. Now that's right on my back doorstep basically. Like, look at that. That's the Gilla Flats, which is between the town of Bega and Callaroo. Well prone for flooding and stuff like that every year pretty much, but beautiful shots. Well, that's Merimbula. Now a lot of you guys from Australia would have heard of Merimbula, and I know a few of you guys have actually, had holidays in Merimbula. Well, that's it there. Well, that's a good one. That's a chip mill, famous chip mill wharf. That's the Twofold Bay here in Eden. It's in the top 10 deepest harbours in the world, natural harbours, I think it is. But yeah, that's the chip mill wharf. It's where they bring the big ships in and load the chips out. That's the Navy wharf. They bring all the Navy boats in, and they've got an armoured depot about 10 k's from this wharf. They've got an armoured depot, and they load all the bombs onto the ships and stuff. Pretty cool. If you guys want a copy of this calendar, like, he'll send them to you, no dramas. Like, you jump on his website, purchase one, and he'll send it to you, no worries. Heaps of information in it. But I just thought that was really cool to have a calendar of all this area. Just stunning photos of this area, because this is a really pretty part of the world. It really is. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you. Check Cliffy out, Cliff Shipton Photography. Check him out, and I'll put all the bits in the description, because I think he's worth keeping an eye on YouTube, because he's going to have some really interesting scenery from around this area. Thanks, Cliffy. Okay, this is going to be the end cap. 7mm in. I've got to bring it down to 961.5 for the 9/16 18 thread. 561. So I'm going to have to thread that just a touch more inside there. I'm just going to fiddle around here now on this piece, and I'm going to end up putting a knurl on here as well. That'll be good enough. Okay, so it's going to be fairly tight here, but I've screwed the end cap in so I can dress this end of the end cap. I want to blend, just do a cut and blend these two together, which in all honesty probably doesn't need it. Yeah, there is a slight difference. Yeah, I'll give it a go, nothing to lose. Old mate's got a Land Cruiser nick across the road, and when she called me, no man, she doesn't run real good, but geez, she gives her some trying. Well, I've just chucked a bit of emery over the end of that, cleaned it up. It's good enough for what it's for. So now I can move on to making the screws. That shouldn't take all that long. 558 that is. It's got to come down to 500. So I've just cut myself a bit of relief here for this tool to get in, this TNGG insert. I might do it in 2 passes just to keep the tool pressure and deflection down, which this has bugger all tool pressure, but yeah. Set up and start cutting the thread, so there should be plenty of distance by the time all the parting tool and everything, I'm hoping. Plenty now, I'd say. Okay, it should be the last pass, just a scratch pass, just a, well, not a scratch pass, just a spring pass. Okay, we can start making these into little ones. So that's the call it the major diameter for the hex to go on. So now I just got to work out a way to put the little tit on the end. That's all it needs. Going to hold those in a collet on the mill, and just to in the collet block, just to put the 6 sides on that for the hex. I can part this one off now. Then once they're all done to this stage and parted off individually, then I'll have to go back in and just counterbore the back of them, so when they sit up in there together, if you know what I mean, when they're stacked inside the handle piece. So there we got 6 of them. About 95% the same as each other, but I'll spin them around now and put the counterbore on the back of them while the collet's still set up in here. And then it'll be over the mill just to flip them on and do the just knock the corners off for the hex drive. That's it. So that's all I'm doing to them. It's just open up the back of them, so when they get stacked inside the holder, that one there's got to go a touch deeper actually. When they get stacked up in the holder, they they all take up less room. I'll get the rest of these done and be over at the mill then to finish off the hex on them. That's that. Do that to all of them now. Like before I started, I obviously preset the depth of cut and everything, so a little bit of wriggle, but I'm sure it'll be alright. That's all I need. Clean them up, temper them back a little bit, and I'll be right. I'm sure ready to go together now. Done. That's a good little job, that. And what's it taken me? About 4.5 hours, 5 hours roughly to do. So pretty happy about that. Righto, another mission done.